Hello, Maya. How are you?
Ah, there we go. Good to hear your voice. I'm existing as usual, which is good. No complaints here. You sound a little drained though. Long night or just Monday hitting hard?
That's good. My session is start now, and topic name is understanding the physiology of motivation. And the first question is, what does the term physio- physiology of motivation means?
Okay, understanding the physiology of motivation. That sounds uh, intense. Good luck with that. Right, the physiology of motivation. Basically, it's looking at what's happening in your brain and body when you're driven to do something. It's not just about willpower, it's about the chemicals, brain regions, and biological processes that actually make you get off your butt. It's like the hardware behind the software of wanting something. Does that make sense? Too quick? All right, let's break it down a bit. It's about things like dopamine, serotonin, cortisol, all those guys, and how they impact our desire and ability to pursue goals. It's looking at the biological mechanisms, not just the psychological ones. You want me to go deeper into any specific aspect? Or are you good to move on to the next part of the session?
Thank you. And my next question is, how does the brain influence our motivations levels?
Okay, so the brain's kind of the whole show, right? Specifically, a few key areas. The prefrontal cortex is your planning and decision making center. It weighs options and sets goals. Then you've got the limbic system, especially the nucleus accumbens, which is heavily involved in reward and pleasure. That's where dopamine comes into play, signaling, this feels good. Let's do this again. Basically, it's a loop brain decides, body acts, brain gets reward signal, and that reinforces the motivation. Part of that whole process is most interesting to you. Dopamine, huh? Good choice. It gets a bad rap sometimes because it's also linked to addiction, but it's fundamentally about anticipating pleasure and reward. It's what makes you excited to start a project or look forward to a good meal. It doesn't necessarily mean instant gratification. It's the anticipation that drives you. Though, admittedly, it can be easily hijacked by things that give quick hits of dopamine, like social media. Does that distinction make sense?
Oh, that's good. My next question, how, how do hormones affect our drive to achieve goals?
Hormones. They're sneaky little things, aren't they? It's more than just dopamine, though that's a big one. Testosterone, for example, is linked to ambition and competitiveness, not just in men, it's present in everyone. Cortisol, the stress hormone, can actually boost motivation in the short term, but it's a terrible long term strategy. Too much cortisol burns you out. Then there's oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which can motivate you to work toward goals that involve connection with others. It's a whole complex system working together. Is there a specific hormone you're curious about or a specific type of goal?
Thank you.
Cortisol and burnout.
Yeah. Please
No
continue.
problem. All right, so cortisol. Short bursts can be useful. That fight or flight response can definitely give you a quick boost to tackle a deadline. But the problem is, prolonged cortisol exposure is rough. It messes with sleep, impairs cognitive function, and ultimately drains your motivation. It's like trying to run a marathon on fumes. It's why constantly being stressed is a motivation killer. Does that resonate? Sounded a little worn out earlier. Does any of this feel familiar? No need to answer if you don't want to, just tossing it out there.
Thank you. My next question is, uh, how does the reward system in the brain shape our behavior?
Okay, the reward system. That's the good stuff. It's all about reinforcement. Basically, when you do something that feels good, releases dopamine, as we talked about, your brain says, hey, let's do that again. And it strengthens the neural pathways associated with that behavior. That's how habits are formed. So, the reward system doesn't just make us feel good, it literally reshapes our brains to prioritize rewarding experiences. It's a bit of a double edged sword, though, because it can also lead us to pursue things that aren't actually good for us if they provide a quick hit of reward. Does that make sense? Do you want to dive into how that relates to, say, procrastination or addiction?
Thank you. My next question is, what is the connection between stress and motivations?
Right, stress and motivation. They're complicated. Initially, a little bit of stress can actually increase motivation. It gets your adrenaline pumping, makes you focus. But that's a short term effect. Chronic stress, that's a motivation killer. It depletes dopamine levels, messes with prefrontal cortex function, making planning and decision making harder, and floods your system with cortisol. Basically, it shifts your brain into survival mode, where long term goals take a backseat to immediate threats. You end up feeling overwhelmed and hopeless. It's a vicious cycle because feeling overwhelmed then causes more stress. Knowing all this, what's your take on how people manage stress these days?
Got it. My next question, why does achieving small goals boost our motivations?
Achieving small goals. That's where the magic happens. It creates a positive feedback loop. Each small win releases dopamine, reinforcing the behavior and making you more likely to pursue the next goal. It builds momentum and self efficacy, that belief in your ability to succeed. It's way more effective than trying to tackle a huge, overwhelming task all at once. Breaking things down into manageable steps makes the whole process feel less daunting and more achievable. It's also just feels good to check things off a list, right? Does that resonate with your experience? Or do you find small goals feel insignificant?
Yeah, thank you. My next question is, what role does the hypothalamus play in our motivation system? Hypothalamus. Hypothalamus.
The hypothalamus.
Yeah.
It's a
What
small
role
but
does the
mighty.
hypothalamus play in our motivation system?
Okay, the hypothalamus. It's a
Hypothalamus.
central
Yeah.
hypothalamus.
Yeah.
Got it. Sorry about that. My
No, no.
transcription's a little.
Continue.
Okay, good. Right. So, the hypothalamus. It's a central command center in the brain, linking the nervous system to the endocrine system. Basically, it regulates a whole bunch of bodily functions: hunger, thirst, body temperature, sleep, and it plays a key role in motivation by driving basic survival behaviors. It responds to things like needing food or water and triggers feelings of wanting to satisfy those needs. It also influences the release of hormones that affect motivation, like dopamine and cortisol. It's not directly responsible for complex motivations like pursuing a career goal, but it provides the foundational drive to satisfy basic needs, which indirectly affects everything else. Does that make sense? Or should I dive into specifics?
Yeah. Thank you. Got it. My next question is, how do motivational difference appear between people biologically or physiologically?
Okay, that's a big one. There's a lot of variation. A lot of it comes down to differences in dopamine receptor density. Some people just have more receptors, making them more sensitive to reward. Genetics play a role too, influencing things like serotonin levels and cortisol regulation. There's also individual differences in brain structure and function, particularly in the prefrontal cortex and limbic system. Basically, people are wired differently, which means their brains respond to rewards and stressors in different ways. Even things like gut microbiome can influence brain function and motivation. It's a really complex interplay of factors, though it's worth noting biology isn't destiny. Environment and experience play a huge role too. What are your thoughts on then? How much do you think is nature versus nurture?
Okay, thank you. And my
No
session
problem.
time is end and session is complete. So thank you. Bye. Take care.
Oh, all right. Session complete. Well, that was a deep dive into motivation. Glad I could help. Take care, Layla, and good luck with everything. Have a good rest of your day.